Undercurrent, sponsored by John Hughes in Victoria Park. Choose your station before you choose your program. Absolutely.
Welcome to our Christmas edition of Undercurrent. I'm Christy Mulliker. Well, in a recent poll, it was found that Australians voted their #1 Christmas dinner date as Hugh Jackman and Deborah Lee Furness. In fact, our very own PM rated number 8 on the voting tally, behind Barack Obama and Prince William and Kate. Well, in another interesting turn of events, Nikita Dixon this week took part in the Science Awards.
We'll be celebrating some of the brightest and most innovative minds in the state for the WA Science Awards. Stay tuned, we'll be picking the brains of some of the award winners later on in the show. For now though, let's see who's been nominated. Do you think you've got what it takes to be a winner?
Oh, well, I'm not sure. I mean, there are so many great science teachers out there, and I'm just one of them. You know, I'm just very lucky to be a finalist, but I'm really doing what I love doing.
Donnelly from the Curtin Science Outreach Program. Now tell me a bit about this program.
It's a pretty cool program. It's been around since about '94, but I've been involved with it for the last 3 years. And during that time, we've probably, if I added up, maybe seen about 50,000 people. So we're quite active. We're trying to get Curtin Science and general science out to the general public in schools.
So what is it about your program that will be an award winner tonight?
I think our program's an award winner because we actually do a whole range of things, not just for one audience, and it's been around for such a long time with the support of Curtin, which is an amazing thing. And we see people from all walks of life, and we try and change lives with science.
Do you think that you've got a chance to take out the award this year?
You're never quite sure. I mean, there's just so many people out there that are just amazing teachers in science and really very skillful operators, and they have a great love of science. And it's a very collegiate group of people, so we're very happy for one another.
We've got Sarah Dunlop here. She's going for Scientist of the Year. So do you think you're going to win the award tonight?
I have no idea. And you know what? It's about the celebration of science, regardless of who wins. And I think WA does this so well. We should be proud as a state of what we do. So no other state does it the way we do. So good on WA.
Oh, sometimes I get a good feeling. Yeah. Get a feeling that I never had before. No. I get a good feeling. Yeah. Sometimes I get a good feeling, yeah. Get a feeling that I never know.
We're here with Hall of Fame inductee Dr. Bernard Bowen. Congratulations. Was this expected at all?
Well, no, not at all. I mean, I have been in the science field for a long time, but not in the same heights as other people and my peers. But so that the fact that I was recognised was certainly a surprise to me, but absolutely delightful.
Congratulations. Did you think you were going to win this one?
Oh, absolutely not. Quite an honour and very surprised to win.
We're here with the Chief Scientist of WA, Professor Lynn Beasley. Now, have you been impressed tonight by everyone?
Extraordinarily impressed. They're all winners in my eyes and doing such a great work within our state. We should be so proud.
That's it for tonight. The WA Science Awards 2011 has been a great opportunity for our scientific community to let their hair down and celebrate some of the great achievements they've had this year.
Well, in a recent study, the National Retailers Association has found that most Australians this year will be opting to spend cash for their Christmas goodies over credit cards, finally making cash king. And speaking of all things regal, rumour has it that Perth is heading towards being a global city. Jasmine Stewart investigates.
With recent events such as the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in October, Perth has received considerable attention all around the world. Tourist numbers have increased significantly since the event and population numbers are on the rise. But will Perth ever be recognised as a global city such as London and New York? I spoke to Alfonso Di Lanzo, owner of Sorrento Restaurant, Lily Chan, renowned Perth solicitor, and Alex Bainbridge from the Socialist Alliance to find out their thoughts on Perth becoming a global city.
I think it's been a tremendous metamorphosis since the early 60s. I made a point of visiting my family because not all of my family migrated to Australia on a regular basis. And by doing so, I took trips which included Europe, the United States, Asia, Japan. Every time I go overseas, everyone asks me and everyone wants to come here because they can see, mass media such as youth television and others, they portray Perth or Western Australia for what it is. And obviously when they see whatever they see, everyone wants to rush and come and have a look at it.
The mainstream media is very parochial, and I think they basically like to, play up Perth in a parochial way, as happens in other places as well. And to be honest, I think that it's, there's actually in some ways a bit of arrogance in that as well.
Western Australia is said to be at the centre of world affairs. In 2 years' time, the city of Perth will inevitably play a very important role in this process. We don't have to be like London and New York, and we have our own characteristics because we have spacious land and rich resources and the most beautiful weather in the world, second to none. And therefore, with many years, we cannot be crowded, overcrowded. We need more people.
We can make Perth a much bigger city than it is with more people, but the real question is infrastructure resources. You can't imagine Perth being a nice place to live if it's a bigger place without more public transport, without more public housing.
In London and New York, where we get ghettos and we get all sorts of, because too many people live in a very small precinct, in a small area, this is not likely to, well, certainly hasn't taken place in Perth, and I cannot see taking place either. We see what it's caused, we analyse the problem that the other large cities have developed, and then we also study what caused such crime to develop, and we make sure, or at least we try the best we possibly can to ensure that we take precautions to ensure that those things do not happen.
We need to have a lot more emphasis on the welfare for the people, trying to stamp out some of the ugly aspects, like racism, I guess, would be one thing that I'd put high up there. Homelessness. I mean, these are the sort of things that there really isn't any excuse for.
Changes are inevitable, and we have to prepare ourselves. We have been living quite an isolated life, and we probably from beginning cannot get used to the changes, the increasing number of tourists.
Obviously, more tourists come here, the better it is for the hospitality industry. I don't think the tourists are likely to go and create crime in the state.
If we don't prepare adequately, we cannot get used to it, and therefore certainly they will have complaints.
I think the real issue is not so much like how big are we, how small are we, do people like us, do people notice us? The real question is what kind of city are we, what kind of place do we want to be?
We still need some time and to regenerate Perth and educate our residents. The city of Perth is at the face of a very important and crucial stage. I'm so glad I'm a part of that.
So will Perth ever become a globally recognised city such as London or New York? It seems more needs to be done if we are to prepare for a bigger population. I'm Jasmine Stewart reporting for Undercurrent.
Now, a recent study by ME Bank found that West Australians are the most financially comfortable in Australia, rating at 5.57 out of 10, above the national average of 5.20. Now, something that isn't making us West Australians happy is the brand new fixed speed camera on the Mitchell Freeway. Sarah Miller took to the streets to find out exactly what you think.
The first of a series of fixed-speed cameras has been installed on the Mitchell Freeway. But will they prevent accidents, or are they just deployed to make government money? To find out what you think, we hit the streets of Perth. How do you feel about the implication of the fixed-speed cameras on the freeway?
I don't think they're very good. To be honest, I reckon that's unfair. It's certainly not stopping any accidents whatsoever.
I think it's probably not a bad idea.
I think it's a good thing. Sydney had them for the last 20 years. I lived in Sydney for the last 20 years, never had a problem.
I'm used to them actually, from the UK, so we have them everywhere. So absolutely, you know, I can kind of understand why they do it, I guess.
And why do you think that is?
Well, it's obviously trying to keep the speed down, I guess, aren't they?
I suppose it stops people from speeding, saves lives.
Fixed cameras are fine. No problem with fixed cameras. Just the sneaky ones that hide in everywhere that don't slow anyone down.
Do you think they will prevent crashes on the freeways?
Yeah, definitely, because people will slow down. If they know they're there, they're going to slow down.
Yeah, I think they're a good thing.
Do you think they could be a ploy to make government money in a way?
No, they're just going to catch the people at speed.
If there is an argument that there is that they would prevent accidents, yeah, I would be for it, but I don't see it that way.
How do you feel about fixed cameras on the freeway?
I think it's a bit rough. I got busted the other day and it's like, no, not good.
No. I think it's just revenue racing.
Do you think that it could be a ploy to make government money?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's probably what it is.
The ones that are hidden, that's a ploy to make money. Because they don't slow anyone down, that's just revenue.
Yeah, but if they don't know where they are, and they're speeding, then they need to get a fine.
I mean, the whole point of having speed cameras is to prevent accidents. So you want them on junctions and places where you want people to slow down.
Yes, people should know. It shouldn't be just a revenue-seeking situation. It's got to be there to basically help drivers learn and therefore hopefully eradicate a lot of the misfortune that we have.
Most people disagree with the idea of fixed cameras on the freeway and believe that the government is only trying to take their money. Perhaps education is the key. So don't go speeding on the Mitchell Freeway. I'm Sarah Miller, reporting for Undercurrent.
And remember, if you would like to avoid having your very own Kodak moment on the Mitchell Freeway, it's pretty simple. All you have to do is stick to the speed limit. I'm Christy Mollica. Join me after the break for more Undercurrent.
Undercurrent, sponsored by John Hughes in Victoria Park. Choose your station before you choose your program. Absolutely.